2 sigma move. So that's probably where a lot of notional risk in the option market was. So just keep that in mind. It's a massive beat, but it's way beyond what's expected. The only thing to go against that is the amount of selling before. You may have a lot of shorts who obviously were wrong into earnings, and if they didn't profit take here, then they'll have to cover. So there's a bit of a 50-50 there, but definitely look for all-time high at the lows. And if we keep going, just use momentum to kind of be a guide. You want some um, intraday momentum to kind of be your guide there. All right, so it looks like we are live. Want to give a quick welcome back to Carlos. And as always, let's go ahead and get started. So my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Market. It is September 9th, 2021. For yesterday, going over just a few items. We want to keep note of the VIX. The VIX still has a posture of maybe a bit of additional hedging going on in the market. And oftentimes what I like to do is review what are market participants doing relative to a rising VIX. One way to see that is the VVIX, which is, you can think of it as volatility of volatility. And in sort of, I would say layman's terms, it's, are market participants hedging? And if so, are they paying more and more to hedge? Which means they are willing to pay excess premium for downside risk. And usually this can kind of build over time, leading into these larger market pullbacks. And so far, what we've seen is the volatility comes off drastically after that, hence why we have such well-defined pullbacks into the 50 and often new swing highs once we get that drawdown. So we've seen this before. It is a repetitive pattern in the past year, but as we start to get above sort of the 110 to 120 range, that's when I start to see a little bit more, I would say, pulling back into strength. And that can often lead to those sharper sell-offs that occur within a day or two session. So just keeping that on watch. We know the market has been a bit elevated. The likes of the Qs are sort of the ones that are probably the most at risk for a downside move, given some of the technicals, given the channel-based structure, and the fact that we simply have had such a strong push from low to high without so much in the way of like a weekly pullback. A lot of these pullbacks are rather muted, and even when we have stronger selling, you'll notice that the weekly candle still closes strong. So we haven't really seen that sort of pivot in the weekly as we have seen in maybe the SPY over the past couple of months. Obviously still trending, but some of these pullbacks closing weak. Something along the lines of this being a good example back in June. So reason I bring up the Nasdaq as well for short term is we have the Nasdaq in a position of relative balance up near the highs. And essentially the way this can be interpreted is that maybe this market is starting to stall short term near these highs, as we're not getting clarity on a breakout, nor are we getting clarity on a strong breakdown, leading us into daily and possibly weekly consolidation. If we just go to a short time frame, that obviously looks like a lot of chop back and forth on our intraday session. We have some very clear lows being set. And yesterday was sort of the first time we started to breach this area, noting as well that even on something like a 1 hour, we're simply pulling back to the 200 for the first time in quite a while. Excuse me. So um, the interpretation of this can be a bit challenging because we obviously have signals in different ways. We know that the trend has been strong here. The Nasdaq has been a relative outperformer in the past couple of months, driven by the likes of our larger market cap names. But as we mentioned yesterday and even on Tuesday, the relative breadth in the market has been a bit poor in the past couple of sessions. What we've been seeing, at least in the short term, is some of the larger market caps have been hiding some of that poor relative breadth. And when we look at something like an equal weight on the NASDAQ, the QQEW as my example, we can see that amidst a sort of stall in the NASDAQ, the equal weight is actually showing some of that relative poor breadth, as there is some selling pressure, but it's not necessarily hitting the larger market caps yet. And that is allowing for the NASDAQ to remain in a posture of balance, at least in the short term. Now, amidst all of that, we obviously saw some of that selling yesterday with the likes of Apple giving us a bit of a reversal overall. You can see that we took back a lot of the bullish activity from the prior session. Microsoft still in its relative pullback, but I think given where it is on the overall trend, given that we are seeing some demand return here, this could easily break bullish. And obviously the idea here is that we have a very short-term downtrend in this pullback. We're just looking for that retracement to break out to the long side. Now, if none of this does come to fruition, Apple and Microsoft being the two tech examples, we kind of go to our normal culprits, consumer discretionaries, Amazon and Tesla. Amazon of high interest due to the very significant response after earnings faded. We're seeing a lot of bullish activity, and we are coming close to finishing a gap fill, which I believe will sort of provide that final resistance point for this big impulsive move to maybe draw down slightly. It's also worth noting that amidst all of this range-based trading, there was a trend line in place, and that trend line has been recovered over the past couple of sessions. So this is structurally the idea here is that we may have a bit more bullish activity in Amazon, but we're also coming into our gap fill. So we have horizontal and directional or diagonal support and resistance areas to consider amidst all of the price action going on in the market. And then finally, Google and Facebook still structured rather bullish. Nothing of concern in these trending stocks. But just getting a bit of choppy action here. We're not really seeing clarity outside of the fact that we had our impulsive move to new highs. So moving forward with our NASDAQ as sort of a relative gauge of, I would say, strength in the SPY, we're not really seeing the same impulses as we've seen in recent history. And with our SPY, given that we did reject yesterday's close and saw a bit of weakness across the board, you'll note that yesterday's close was approximately here, about 451.30s, and the market actually rejected that in the morning session, leading to a larger sell-off into the afternoon phase. So with the SPY, I think we just want to keep the same narrative of what sectors are going to lead us to new highs, if any at all, and are we seeing performance in these sectors? Financials certainly have not caught themselves yet. We're leading to some pretty wide range-based trading, highs and lows getting bought, but everything in between not leading to pullbacks. So lots of 100% retracements in the short term. And then healthcare still holding its relative trend at the 20, but not seeing the same sort of impulse once testing the 20. We're looking for strength in the market, and what we're not seeing is response yet. It's just a bit of chop. And when you look at the weekly, we see that we kind of stalled over the past couple of weeks. There is a weekly range up at these highs. So some interesting short-term activity as well. Continue to bring up natural gas as we do have our long-term breakout that's occurring. We've seen multiple months of upside activity. This is the idea that this breakout has room to trend. We've seen 4 to 5 months of higher highs and higher lows in natural gas. But short term, we are coming into a previous swing high. So if you've been involved or exposed to the natural gas trade to the long side, we've obviously made a pretty impressive move so far. But in the short term, we need to respect that this high has not been broken as of yet. And with this high, we are also psychologically occurring or running into the $5 or 5-point print for natural gas futures. So the likes of UNG, which is often where traders go to take advantage of natural gas bullishness, has seen that same upside, but as with natural gas, we are extended. And hence, if you are long, you may want to consider either taking some profit, as we do have a technical resistance that we've run into, along with the response of that resistance, kind of letting you gauge whether you want to continue to hold your long position, what is your downside risk, and where is your overall entry, not wanting to give back too much of a multi-week to multi-month profit to the upside. So some things to consider. I'm sure if you are trading or exposed to natural gas, you've been aware of these levels, but it is finally at fruition. So you may want to consider what your next move is and simply wait for the next wave to the upside, which would be a pullback in this market. And let's see, as I pull back my watch list, we simply double check the dollar. We're sort of trapped between some lows and some shorter term pullback highs. Failed rejection here, still has room to come all the way back to our range lows. So we're still looking to see if that's going to complete, or are we going to have to retest this relative high before we see some confirmation across the dollar. Gold market, bit of a stall, approximately the 1800 on gold. 1800 has been sort of a sticking point in this market for a while, usually returning here in periods of indecision. You can see that pretty clearly with something like volume profile showing about 1815, but the psychological 1800 has been a more clear return point. Often the market has sort of come to test this area and often will stall at this area if there's less clarity across the economic condition of the market. So silver, bit of a different story. Not really trending except to the downside. We're seeing less impressive responses near these liquidation lows. Gold obviously tried to reverse trend after this large sell-off and liquidation low, whereas silver has been a bit muted. You can see the gold response here, much more impressive and coming back to the previous high. So using gold as a guide, obviously if gold's performing throughout this possible retracement breakout, then silver is likely to pick up some of that momentum and steam. But as we are back at this decision point, I would say this is sort of 50-50. And obviously with where the dollar and the interest rates are, those are going to be guides as to whether the conditions are right for bullishness in the metals. So finally, just looking at IWM, pulling back near the swing highs, normal response as we are still trading within a range. As we come back to VPOC, obviously a bullish response from VPOC would set the stage for a retest of the highs. And if we do not get that, then the return back to the 200, which is where we responded before, would be the next phase of downside activity. And finally, I wanted to bring up the Dow. It hasn't been something we've been watching heavily, but I think as with other markets sort of in periods of stall or indecision, we may want to look at different areas of interest to see if anything is starting to set up. And what I like about the Dow is it has a few aspects of possible breakout and structure. Of course, with the understanding that if the rest of the market comes down or pulls back heavily, the Dow is not going to necessarily be a standout on a breakout. It may be a bit of a muted breakout or a breakdown. But what I like here is there's a larger range that the Dow had been trading in for the periods of about late April until, let's say, late July. We started to breach this range, but the overall response hasn't been impressive. We've seen a lot of reconnections to the 50, kind of stalling against the 20, and even in the past couple of sessions, actually pulling back down to the 50. But what I also want to note is we are back at sort of trend line support. It's not the clearest thing in the world, but it is where the market responds the strongest. And obviously, if you are positioned long in these areas, you have the best risk to reward over the past couple of pullbacks. It gives you the most range to play with on your swing highs. So if the market is to bounce here, this market being the Dow, I think we are starting to set up that potential near this area. We have a bit of confluence with our previous range highs, which for some reason keep getting adjusted here. Obviously, want some confirmation to get away from this range. We have trend line support, and then of course we have our 50, which in other markets has been very clear as a buy point. For the Dow, maybe not so much. We also have this downtrend retracement line, and this is where the Dow has made its lower high amidst the past week worth of trading activity. So, if you're looking for something maybe to get long, the Dow may provide that opportunity as it's positioned correctly in a pullback. The risk parameters are relatively low. You'll know to stop out if the Dow is to sort of close below this area, and especially if the selling volume continues. But if none of those things come to fruition, you're giving yourself the opportunity to break a range, basically to move away from a previous notable swing high that has acted as a bit of a sticking point. We have a retracement breakout that may occur over the next couple of sessions. And then obviously with trend line support, you're giving yourself the opportunity for the most risk to reward. So when we look at all these things put together and we sort of look at what the Dow includes, you'd obviously have to be bullish across some, if not all of these names, because the Dow is comprised of 30 stocks. Some of those stocks hold more weight relative to the Dow's performance than others. So obviously you need to be considerate of the largest names across the Dow, with it not necessarily being market cap weighted, but actually stock price weighted. So if we go to our Dow 30, we pull up some of the largest stocks. We're thinking not necessarily Apple and Microsoft, but we're thinking some of the healthcare names, UNH, the understanding that healthcare has been trending for a while. Goldman Sachs, one of the few banks that's actually trading close to its all-time highs, obviously seeing some selling recently, but so far still relative strength in the larger context of the market. And the likes of Home Depot, Microsoft obviously coming in fourth, and CRM, and the list goes on. So whether or not any of these stocks provide the sort of I would say, confirmation for bullishness in the Dow. The overall composite of these 30 stocks, the way they're calculated, has set up the potential for a buy. I think obviously a bit more confirmation is needed, but the parameters are in place to where if the technicals confirm, the Dow does have some potential upside. So something to watch, something to consider. We don't look at it often, but I think when markets set up, that's the moment when you can come in, do an analysis, and especially for shorter term trades, swing or even day, that's really the opportunity of kind of getting in at the right time and understanding your risk parameters are tight. If the market is to sell, you'll stop out quickly and your risk will be relatively low, as opposed to buying near swing highs or breakouts where the risk can be rather large if they fail. So I guess last but not least, some stocks from yesterday that did have some interesting price action. We had the likes of NEO coming out with a secondary offering. So that, of course, led to a gap down in the morning session and continual selling throughout the intraday. We're actually seeing additional selling into this morning, and obviously some levels to watch are going to be these previous lows, as NEO is pretty much coming into them for pre-market. May get a bit of a bounce, but ultimately a fairly bearish catalyst, along with coming a little bit further back in time and just kind of seeing where NEO has been trading. We've seen a lot of impulsive moves that have failed quite hard. This is sort of that example of what a previous runner can run into as we come back into overhead supply. The selling pressure was quite heavy, and ultimately we are trading close to, if not back to, some of the major lows that occurred in March and in May. We're using NEO as a possible example of what can happen for these parabolic stocks. Even though they have large corrective recoveries, the likes of what we saw here, the drawdowns can be just as significant if they fail. So we saw some of that with Bitcoin, maybe a bit more aggressive with the liquidation that occurred and the over leverage. But it just goes to show that these technical examples can give us clues as to what to expect, even if they occur within the course of a day. So NEO is one good example. Obviously watching Tesla in lieu of that, and some of the other EV stocks, most of which underperformed yesterday as they were quite bearish. Still reviewing China stocks. We do have a lot of these names trading lower this morning. You'll see the FXI or even the GXC as sort of a composite ETF. A lot of those have been trading lower. We did have some bearishness yesterday, and sort of our key names, BABA, having some trouble near the reactionary high. This is the level to watch. We're looking for closure above this to kind of confirm this range may be ready to expand higher. But until then, we are seeing weakness in intraday sessions, larger sell-offs, and ultimately haven't confirmed this range breakout quite yet. So that's also true for other names, but other names are positioned a bit better. The likes of JD and PDD already breaking out from previous capitulation lows, but weak on the intraday session. So things to watch. They'll be on our gappers list across the board, and with a relatively light gappers list, if the market is weak, especially the Nasdaq, noting that the Nasdaq in that balance zone, these stocks, the likes of JD and PDD, are included in the Nasdaq. So definitely want to watch the appropriate index if you're trading these to see if you have a bullish market and maybe a bullish stock, or a bearish market and a bearish stock. Really gets you some good confirmation relative weakness. And let's see, finally, trying to remember the last item that I wanted to bring up. SBRT. This was one that some people traded yesterday. I would say intraday was a bit poor, not really something worth trading outside of maybe catching these big spikes. But we did see the afternoon rally, which may set up for continuation, as we do have a bit of a daily engulfing structure, and we did close strong into the close itself. So intraday wasn't really providing the opportunity, but keep in mind this stock did pull down about 60 to 70% from its highs. Oftentimes that leads to a bit of an oversold bounce. And obviously we're not looking for new highs here, but we are looking for 10 to 20% of this range, as this stock can offer that in the course of a single day. So this one probably on watch for the bullish side. There really isn't too much on the bullish gap up unless things have changed. And with the Nasdaq, once again, I think we did see some bullish activity, bit of an impulsive move here. So we'll see if this can hold, or if the market decides to fade this throughout the day as they did yesterday. So that's pretty much it. That's all I have for y'all. So as always, trade safe. Go into the next couple of days understanding that the market really hasn't moved much, which means we've been in balance in a few areas, and the market has priced in larger movement this week. So just because we haven't moved doesn't mean that the market can immediately start sort of capturing some of that IV that's been priced in. And with that, what direction are we going to choose? I think with some of the lean on the poor breadth, we may get more of the pullback as opposed to the breakouts. But obviously that can change on a dime. So, just keep that in mind. Market's still postured bullish, but may be in need of that final pullback on the rest of the week. So that said, I guess, yeah, trade safe. I'll see y'all next week, and stay tuned for pre-market prep with Carlos and potentially Norm. But obviously, Carlos, welcome back, and glad to have you back on the mic. So talk to y'all soon, and trade safe.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. I hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Who is this? Hey, your camera's not working, brother. Um,
Oh, okay. Let me check into that. Yeah, I see that's not on. All right, let me look into that. I know something was not going to work this morning, and it seems to
yeah,
be the
of
camera.
course. That's how it goes. I know people want to see your smiling face, though.
Absolutely. Let me just see if I can reset here. If not, while we go through the news events, we'll definitely look into it. Let's see here. This will work. How you been, man? Everything okay?
I'm good. How are you? How's your sleep? How's the family? How's your wife? How's your new daughter?
What is sleep? I have no idea what you're talking about. That does not exist. It's a myth. But yeah, sleep is pretty rough right now. As you know, oh no, when you have a newborn every 3 hours and you have the little one that once in a while, my 2-year-old, he was gonna be 2 in November. He kind of gets in the swing of things. So when you have that combination, it can be a little bit rough. Yeah, still don't know what's going on with my camera, guys, but we'll get it worked out. We'll try to
Uh,
see if we can get a refresh before the show is over.
Once
Um,
again, huge shout out to Thor. Thank you for covering the last couple of weeks.
yes,
But at the same time, very happy to have you back, brother.
yes, I appreciate Thor did an amazing job. I was able to log in a couple of times and see him at work, and man, he did really good.
Pick it
This is
up.
not easy to
Yep.
do, especially on just a short period like that. So he did an amazing job. So it's good to be back, guys. Let's get right into it. Let's go over to our gappers list this morning. We don't have anything from yesterday, and I've been away, not watching the markets as much. So give me a little time to just kind of get acclimated with the way things are going, how things are trading, and I'm sure Norm will do an amazing job to fill me in on things. Um, Gappers list this morning got a little bit here in the green, ton in the red. I mean, we got a lot of stuff dropping here, and the names have it looks like the names have not changed much from what I left off.
From 2 weeks ago, it's
AMC,
like you just
yeah,
shut things down and went back. Yeah.
yeah, it's like everything's the same here. JD, Futu is on here. So a couple of names that we've seen. These are not great traders based on what we've seen in the past. Baba, I know we left it off trading very good. Hopefully that's continuing to do that. So we'll get into what's happening here. Billy, I see a lot of the Chinese stuff just down again. And yeah, we'll get into some of that there. Um, Over to you, Norm, as far as market news and anything coming out for today and this week.
Yeah, well, we're down just a little bit. We were actually down quite a bit more, and the markets come back essentially very close to flat on moderate volume. A couple of things. The ECB this morning came out, and we're talking about pulling back on their asset purchase program, which essentially is their QE, and easing up on that, which we're kind of in the same boat over here, and has been a little bit of a headwind for the markets. Uh, we've got the gappers down, as you mentioned. One huge theme on most of the things over there is China. We've talked about Chinese regulation. We've seen a bounce on Chinese stocks after their long drop over the last few months. A little bit of a bounce the last few days. Because I guess there were some easing regulation concerns. Well, that's over with because now the Chinese government's come back in and being strong-handed, let's call it. I don't. Day trading is one thing on these. I don't know how in the world anybody would want to own these, considering all it takes is the whim of the Chinese government to come in and squish you. So, um, just me. I couldn't tolerate that going to bed at night not knowing. So, anyway, this morning for data 8:30, we had initial jobless claims, continuing claims. Initial claims came out a little bit better than expected. I think it was 300,000 versus 330 expected. So yeah, that's where we sit.
All right, excellent. No, we're still fidgeting here with this thing, but seems like it does not want to work today, so we'll figure it out for tomorrow. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's start here with our gappers list this morning, and I forgot to link this up with trade ideas. And I think I saw an email from someone asking me how to do this. If you're watching, this can help. Go to external linking on trade ideas. Come over here to add link. Once this comes up, all you have to do is wherever you want to populate that ticker, just put your mouse over it, hit shift once, and it records that location. Hit OK, and then you're all set to go. Just put this down here, and once you click on trade ideas, it'll be able to take that ticker information and put it right on there on the actual montage. So that's working pretty good there. All right, let's see what's gapping up today. We have CRDF, 37 million shares float this morning. Pre-market action not looking great at all. Daily's looking horrible. Volume is not great. This is not the way I want to start my show back here. But yeah, this is not a good one. So we'll skip on this one, guys. I don't see anything good happening over on this ticker. Next, we have Lulu. I know Lulu is tough to trade. Brian, every time I think about this stock, I think of Brian because he's a great trader. He's able to trade it very well. And the few times he's traded is on days like this where you have a big gap up. There must be some kind of news or something happening.
Yeah, killing it.
Okay. All right. There we go. So that makes sense. It might be a player today. Even then, I personally do not like this one. I won't put it on my list. It's just the way it trades a little funky. But you know, it's a big gap. We'll put it on here today, and it's at all-time highs. I mean, it's pretty nice gap here. It is, right? All right. So we'll go ahead and add some rows here.
Yes, they do, Megan.
We'll put Lulu on here. Here we go. Yeah, so nice big gap up above the highs, all-time highs here, which struggle above 420. So that could be exciting. Again, I'll put it on here, but it's probably not going to stay there. RKLB this morning, they're up 7.5. Pre-market action is pretty much garbage right now. It's just not looking great. Our daily at the moment, also not exciting neither, guys. Again, we have a nice little run here that we're seeing over the last couple of days in September. Increase in volume. I still don't think this one is great. And just to make sure, let's go back and look at the action from yesterday in the intraday, and even that doesn't look great at all. I'm looking at the 1 minute, look at the 5 minutes, get a bigger picture, and yeah, it's not looking good neither. So not a fan of this one. We'll skip on this. Next, we do have SBRT. I remember this one from when I left because it had a huge pop and insane volume. So right now this morning they're up 5.6, 2 million shares traded. I do recall this being very difficult to trade though. It's just very wild. So it seems like it's still that way. Right now up 2 million shares traded. So you got some good volume. Pre-market action is very active. It is a low flow at 10 million. I do see the short interest at 55. That's pretty high. So I'm just gonna put this as a low flow stock here, guys. Be careful with this one. Again, it's got the volume. Could be a go for some couple of scalps, but that's pretty much about it. So just be careful with that one. All right, that's what we have gapping up this morning. Let's take a look at what's gapping down today. We have a whole lot here.
Be careful if you trade that SBRT. It can move quite violently at times.
I remember it being rough, and I don't know if it was Andrew or Brian. I think if I recall correctly, they got in a trade and it was just not pretty the way it was popping and dropping there. So gapping down today, let's look at the top 5 or so. We have HGEN, huge drop here, 60%, 3.6 million shares traded. I love the drop. What I don't like about this one is that usually you get this big drop and then we do nothing after that, and then we become very choppy at the market open. We've seen that over and over so many times, and this stock here doesn't trade very well. Even with this big drop, you can see the volume here in the daily. It's not a lot, maybe what, 900,000, if that. So I'm not a big fan of that there. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep this one off for now. If it gets better, guys,
they had big news.
Yeah, what's their?
So they had applied for an emergency authorization for a COVID therapy that the FDA has turned down. So you're getting smacked on that.
That's not good. See, something like that. This thing can drop. It could keep dropping from here too. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. That's big news on there. Put it as a secondary just for because that news is big. I never want to hear something like that on a stock that some investors are in or whatever the case may be. And we'll see. EFTR this morning, 23 million shares float. This one right now, pre-market action, only 189,000. We need a lot more for that type of flow. It's a little bit on the lower side. So there's not a lot going on there. Yesterday seems to have had a big day. If we look into that, yeah, it did trade very well as far as the chart goes. I see a couple of gaps in between here, maybe a couple of halts if I'm guessing. But for the most part, you got to be careful on this one. Today, they don't have the volume just yet. You need a lot more than that. So I'm not going to add it there. We need to see this in the thousands, heavy in the thousands, in the millions with that type of flow of 24 million. CERT this morning, they are down nicely, 10% here. Dailies, very light on volume, guys. Again, we always are going to reference this volume. It's a horrible catalyst too. Volume is so important, guys. So you look down here. I mean, the chart doesn't look bad from here to here, right? You got a nice little trend going, and maybe a couple of days of consolidation. But when you look at the bottom, you see 1.8 as your top number in volume. That's just not going to be good. There might be some days where this can take off and be the best things ever created. But for the most part, that's not going to happen. And as traders, we got to pick the best thing that can possibly occur, right? And that's definitely not on top of the list. Here's Billy, big drop for them, 6.7 this morning, 354,000 shares traded. I know this chart looks a little funky, guys, but we do like Billy. It's traded well in the past. I'll say this though. Since it's become active, it hasn't had that many great days as it did when it was like a $20, $40 stock. So I'm not sure about you if you've been able to trade it successfully, guys, but I'm not a big fan of Billy the last couple of days. But we'll throw it on here. It's a big gap down. There might be some other Chinese stocks like Baba. I'm going to skip to Baba now. That actually will trade better, and this is looking much better. Even with only 317,000, you do got an interesting pre-market activity. The daily looks a lot better. You can see the candles on the body here a little bit more wider, so you want to see that some more movement in there. So I think Baba is good, guys. Kind of a better representation of what's going on there with the Chinese stocks. SEs, I know it's a horrible trading stock. Just stay away from this, guys. You want to lose your shirt. You want to get in a stock that's the spread is just scary. This is it right here. We've seen this trade live at the market open. It is just brutal. So I won't touch this at all. I don't really care what the catalyst is or the news. It's just not going to touch it. NTES, another one that is not a great trader. I think this is foreign, but again, just doesn't trade very well, guys. So I'm going to skip. It's a lot of stuff here.
Like everything else on the gappers down list this morning.
Absolutely. I should have came back next week. But yeah, not looking good
it's
here.
It's going to be the same story. It doesn't matter. This stuff's been going on for 4 months, I think.
Yep. Here, ETER, guys, 23 million. We'll stop here, by the way. This is just not looking good. Again, so a lot of stuff here, guys, not looking great. I will stop here and we'll see, hopefully, if things get better as we go. So, all right, just making my way around things here. Nathan, thank you so much for the super chat, man. $5 bomb. I mean, I think you're doing this daily, man. Appreciate that very, very much. So for our donation of the month, which Norm will get into in a bit. So thank you for that. We appreciate you donating for the cause on a consistent basis, man. Appreciate you very, very much. All right, with that said, guys, let's go over to Norm. Anything you like before we get to the room?
I'm still looking, man.
Yeah,
I got to say, I've been setting up PCT. I woke up late this morning. I have not done my normal pre-market activities and such. I am beat after yesterday, so no, I'm a little bit out of it.
I know this is your time of the year where things get really busy with PCT, and I think we're sold out, right? We're booked full, so that's amazing. So again, shout out to everybody joining the PCT bootcamp there. And good luck to you. Good luck. Work hard, and you see the payoff. All right, so let's get to the chat, guys. I see a few people throwing out AMC. Let's get right to that. AMC this morning looking like it's down 3.1, 555,000. Pre-market action doesn't look great, but again, AMC is one of these stocks that can just take off. I do see on the daily, though, guys, the last couple of days, a nice little pop here, and we just kind of been just trading into a point here around 47.50-ish, right? You got a heavy resistance at 48, so that is nice. And we know with the way this stock trades, it just takes a couple of people to say kumbaya, and this thing can take off. So definitely in play, not in play, but potentially can be a great stock to watch as we've seen so many things take off here. Yeah, I'll move this Epic Pen blocking some stuff here. There we go. All right, heading down. What else do we have? I almost looked up PCT, but that's not a ticker. PLTR, or at least not one that you guys are referring to. PLTR this morning. Let's see what's going on here. PLTR right now, huge drop yesterday there, as you can see. Right now, pretty quiet for the most part. I don't see anything great on it. Maybe a possible continuation later down the line, but right now, it just seems pretty light on volume. And the PLTR is one of the stocks that you want to see heavy volume in. You don't want this thing just hanging around, very low volume. It's got to have some great volume. And if I remember correctly, from from the pre-market, we've seen this stuff, do amazing, and at the market open, it just becomes pretty choppy. So you got to be very careful with that one, as far as making sure you definitely spot your setup. CRDF, we looked at this before, guys. It just doesn't look great. This is up, 18%. That's nice. I just don't see anything good on this right now. I could be wrong. The volume is there. That's probably the only thing they got going on. 1.5 million. You have that type of volume. You do have people looking at this. There is some interest. It's just, is it going to break out and do anything interesting, with a daily that's not pretty good. Joseph giving us also CUEV. Let's take a look. CUEV. Type that right. CUEV. Yep, that's not coming up for me. So let's go ahead on down.
Nathan, thank you for the super chat.
Yes, Nathan, thank you so much. Heading down here, what do we have? PCT, American Airlines from Hamish. How you doing, Hamish? American Airlines here. They are pretty much flat right now. Volume is 685, which is a little bit higher than what we've seen in the last couple of days before I left. So I don't think they're really in play though, guys. I mean, it's just wrapping around the previous day close right now. Again, I just don't see anything good there at the moment. Macy's, I know Macy's had a nice pop a couple of weeks ago. It seems like it has not done much here, guys. They don't move a lot, right? This is the time we watch Macy's, when they have news, when they have a catalyst, when they have earnings. Outside of that, we don't really look at it, and this is why. Look at the volume, just completely drops, and the move here is what, 50 cents for the entire day?
Yeah, it sucks. It usually sucks to trade unless it's earnings day and it has some kind of a surprise or something. They got an upgrade out of Cowen this morning with a $27 price target. Like you said, it's one of those that just doesn't move that well.
Yeah, I agree. Neo, let's take a look at what we got going on here. Neo right now. Okay, this looks interesting. I like the pop we're getting here off the lows of 36.80, right? Even lower at 37, higher at 37.30. Got more activity here, so this looks good. Volume is a little bit lighter, 700,000, and I say that because we know how great the volume can be on Neo. I'll add Neo on here. It's not like we have a whole lot to watch on this list anyway. Neo could be a good one. They're daily also hanging around an area of support here. I like that they're around 38. So let's see if we can get above that. The few times that we did get below this here in the last couple of attempts, it did get above 38. So maybe that can be what happens today. American Airlines, we looked at again. Not a big fan of it right now, unless there's any news, but I don't see great pre-market action or daily on it. Neo, we do have BBIG. BBIG, this one here, what is this? This is what's the float on this? Looks lowish, I want to say. No, 51. Okay, not low flow, but lower price, and it's definitely got some activity here. The volume has been crazy the last couple of days, guys. Look at this, 300 million in some cases here. So that's the only thing that looks good right now. Everything else doesn't look great. Maybe this creates some opportunities for scalping, and I can see that here. Look at the market open, pops over to 1240 and then right back down. Another pop here, then right back down. Be careful with that, guys. This thing loves to drop really as fast as it goes up. So be careful with this one right now. Again, you got great volume, maybe a possible breakout, but I'll just be careful with that one. I'll add it next to SBRT. But looking at that action without knowing what's going on, without seeing it actually live, it's questionable on how great it actually trades.
John, thank you.
John,
we got our own mods contributing now over there.
Yes, John, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you very, very much, my friend. $5 bomb there. Again, and Andrew, I was watching live when Andrew said this, and it's so true, guys. You know, the power of a community, the power of you two, us being together, it's not about the amount. It's about the volume, right? Look, we're talking about volume, which we love so much in stocks. It's about the volume, guys, right? So if, $5, $3, $10, $8, whatever, that helps when it's in big numbers. So again, help us definitely get to our goal. Our goal this month, Norm, is still 5K and 5 from Andrew. Is that what we're trying to do? What's the goal? I'm not sure if we readjusted that.
No, we had a goal.
Oh yeah, Andrew threw some goals out there before I left, but yeah, let's just do the best we can. Let's do the best we can. So thank you so much, guys, for those super chat donations there.
We did 2 last month, so I'd be happy to do 2,100. Yeah. I think going
that was the number?
2.5 times the previous month, a little bit.
Yeah, let's not go wild. Absolutely. Let's go just for like 2,500. Let's keep it reasonable. All right, guys. Thank you so much over there on our chat for all the tickers. Let's go over to YouTube and see what we have here. We got a couple of minutes before we jump into our community announcements and event. Keith, you're giving us HUT. We'll start there. HUT this morning, pre-market NOV. This is very light. I don't see great volume in here unless there's some kind of news that's causing this run up and maybe a continuation. Not one that I like right now. ATER, I believe we looked at earlier. I did not like what I see here. Again, just very light as far as the pre-market action is not great. Had a great day yesterday, maybe a continuation. I just don't like this chart at all, man. This chart here is again, they're seeing some great volume over the last couple of days. Maybe that can cause a breakout out of here. But I'm not a big fan of that. And I just want to take a quick minute here. Let's look at, oh yeah, see the action from yesterday. It looks good. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. We'll have to see if that hits the scanners, and somebody call it out, right? If you're watching that, if you like that one, call it out, and then we can take a look at it. PRGO this morning, no volume, guys, 8,000. We won't spend no time on that. Let's go over to JD. You know, JD, we used to trade this a ton. You guys know this if you've been with us for some time. Lately hasn't been great. Even with all the movements from, you know, the Chinese government, everything going on over there. BABA and some other stocks, and usually BABA and JD, they used to trade together. I don't know if they're doing that now because I'm not watching JD almost at all. They used to very hand in hand a little bit. BABA is a much better trading stock, and that's a lot to say because BABA is not the easiest trading stock, but much better trading stock. So even Billy today doesn't look good, guys. BABA is the go-to. I know it's a higher price stock, and some people like to trade, you know, something in the 40s and the 80s, but this is trading very good and very clean, and you're getting volume on it. So that's what you're going to go with. We'll do one more here. Well, two more. We'll do Space and BABA. I'm sorry, not BABA, Apple. Apple this morning. You know, Apple is one of these go-to stocks, right? So we'll add it on here. It's one of the stocks you can watch if the market is going to do some great moves, not great moves, but extreme moves like it did yesterday, and maybe hopefully today. Apple's always a good one. Space is not looking great. No volume there. Let me do another one. We'll do Sava. Sava also no volume. All right, I think we'll stop here, guys. mRNA, last one. mRNA, no, at least not right now. I know mRNA could still have a good day, but the volume is just not looking good. All right, guys, let's stop here. Let's go over to our community announcements and events, and we'll come back and fine tune this list.
All right. Man, you've got some seriously old slides in there. Did you not? I guess you didn't update it.
That's probably what happened.
Why don't we just skip this today? We don't have. We're done for the week with stuff. I'll just say, if you want to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day, post it on Twitter, tag at Bearable Traders, at Mike_B_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use the hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. We will pick a trade of the day and announce it on Twitter, and in the room, and then all those trades of the day are voted on by the team over the weekend and posted on Monday. The winner on Twitter and in the room. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, haven't been in the chat, use the promo code premarket24. Scroll down on the homepage at bearabletraders.com. You can find that test drive button, click that, and then use the premarket24 promo code. It'll get you a discount off the intro membership, which is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days, doesn't auto renew, just cancels after that. You have to go and choose another kind of membership type. Also, if you want to get access to all the webinars and everything we do, use the promo code SUMMER40. It'll get you 40% off the elite annual membership that's just going to be live for a few more days. So.
All right, excellent. Yeah, I was concerned if I was throwing up a summer special that I was not on already. We'll get all those slides updated, guys, so no problem. All right, cool. Let's get into our list here, guys. We have so far Lulu on deck. Again, this one looking okay this morning. Not the easiest stock to trade. We have BABA also on here. This looks great for the most part. AMC, very active, 656,000 shares traded. I like the daily on this one, setting up lovely. Again, we know how easy this thing can just light up and take off. Neo's looking good, guys. We're starting to get a nice little pop here on Neo, so that looks great. Definitely like the way that's setting up. And I have Apple here also going from red to green this morning. So again, not a blockbuster list, but I think it's a decent list. It's okay for now. So we'll do levels for this, and then we'll see if there's anything else that comes up, especially with the moderators lineup. I already see a couple of people throwing their lists out there. Not much different than mine. For example, take a look at Thor's, Apple, Lulu, Neo, and AMD, and Dima has Apple, Neo, and American Airlines. So again, we're kind of in the same boat here a little bit. All right, let's see if I remember how to do this. Levels, yeah, we go. Levels, and okay, perfect. Make sure everything is working. All right, let's do Lulu here, guys. Low of the pre-market right now sitting at 426.31. The high of the pre-market over at 435 even there. So we'll put that level there as well. Towards the bottom, we do have a great, this is all-time highs, by the way, so nothing up here towards the top as far as levels. We do have a great level here, guys. This is the previous all-time highs, and again, we're breaking that some nice faction today, gapping up 12.6 this morning. So put a level over here around 415. I like this 415 more than this one. We can also mark this one 417.89 because again, you got more touches to it, so there's a lot more history around this 415. And usually when you have a level that's tested over a couple of times, that's going to be more significant than a level that only has one touch, right? So we'll see how that goes there. But as far as that is all you really have. Towards the bottom, you have a big gap here between 426 and what seems to be 417. And if you scroll to the bottom, there's really, I was going to check if there's any pre-market action in between here, but there's not. All you have is this huge pop last night, guys. Look at this. I mean, this thing went from 380 to 415. So huge pop, no levels for you to really go off here. And since the all-time high was sitting over here around 417, again, you might not just have any good levels there. So we'll leave that as is for right now, guys. Let's go over to Baba this morning. Baba, as far as levels towards the top, you're pretty much set, guys. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days towards the bottom. I am going to mark down the low of the pre-market over at 164.54. And then towards the bottom of that, you do have an area right on here, little island over at 158.63, the bottom of that there. And then all the way down here, down at 152.63. Again, towards the top, pretty much set there. You do not need to add anything else there. So Baba looking good right now, guys. Getting a little bit of a pop this morning. Well, not a pop, but a bounce of this 164, already up 166 right now. Here's AMC. Again, daily looks very good, guys. We know how great this one can be. You're pretty much stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days right now. So if you look at this here, you're kind of stuck in this area right now, levels all around you. Towards the bottom, if you were to really drop heavy on this, so probably 42.76 right on there, we'll put a level on. You can see a lot of touches on here, nice bounces off of that, great area of possible resistance here, so that's good. Outside of that, the only thing you might want to mark down is probably the high of the pre-market right up here, 46.70. Guys, for AMC, remember the levels are important, right? But you have to look at all your indicators. You have your levels, you have your level 2, you have your volume, and then you also have your trade book, which you have your setup that you're looking for, right? The candlesticks, the way that is forming up. AMC is one of those stocks where the price action is so important, right? So make sure you're looking at the price action, looking at the level 2. We can get these pops that come in out of nowhere. Just make sure you're looking at everything before you jump in on this one, because it can move very aggressively. We've seen that in the past, especially now. It looks like it's trying to get going, guys, trying to break this 48 here. Looks like it did yesterday, was not able to hold, and then you see the drop back down here, but it's holding here. It's holding, trying to get higher. So hopefully we can get something good out of that one. Here's Neo, guys. I love that Neo is trying to stay above this area of support right on there. As I mentioned before, the few times that it did dip lower, it quickly got back above that. So right now, trying to get above that 38. That looks good. Volume climbing nicely, guys. 772,000 shares traded. So that looks very good there. Apple this morning. Hold on. Let's do levels for Neo. Let's not forget that. Towards the top, guys, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, you're pretty much set. Towards the bottom, 36.80 is the low of the pre-market. Another level in here, 37.25. You got a couple of touches on there as well. And then towards the top, you pretty much set. A previous day close right on here. You have the king of all levels, by the way. I saw that webinar by Jared. Amazing. If you have not seen that, it is in our education center, so make sure you take advantage of that. And then you have this great level here, the highs from yesterday. You can see how many touches this thing has, right? So that has a lot of touches going on there. Then above that, more highs and lows. You pretty much cover when it comes to Neo. And again, just looking to get above that 38 very fast there. Here is Apple, guys, stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. There you go. right on there. Previous day closed towards the bottom, so slightly up this morning. Did move from red territory into green here. I am going to mark down the high of the pre-market. It might not stay around for long. 155.46 right now. That might change pretty quickly as this thing looks like it wants to keep going here. So Apple's pretty good. Again, I don't think they're really in play, but depending on how the SPY and the overall market moves, Apple could be a good one to always keep on deck here. The SPY right now did drop quite a bit here, has recovered. It is trying to get into the green area, just slightly above the previous day close there for the most part. All right, so that is what we have. Guys, let's take a look at our moderators lineup. Let's flip this over here. We'll do this, we'll do that, and then we will get this over to you guys, get a little vision of what's going on, who's watching what. Curious to see what other members have this morning with the type of day that it is. So as I do this, guys, if you have not done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We highly appreciate it. It helps us out a ton. So thank you for doing that. Let's get those likes up. It helps our channel tremendously, so thank you for that very much. And also let's give a shout out to our buddy Thor for covering the last 2 weeks. Really appreciate it. He did an amazing job, so thank you so much for that. Speaking of Thor, here's his watch list: Apple, Lulu, Neo, and AMD. Dima, Apple, Neo, and American Airlines. John is looking at Piton, mRNA, and Netflix. Mike likes Tesla, Apple, and Lulu this morning. Tiffany's looking at Neo, Baba, and Apple as well. So again, I think our watch list, you can hit copy and paste on everybody here, because I got pretty much the same thing. We have Lulu, we have Neo, we have Apple. AMD is probably the only one that I do not have on my list that I see Thor has, and AMD could be a good one as well. Yeah, put AMD as a possible. I'm going to steal some of the moderators stuff here. I see Mike is watching Tesla. Let's take a look at that. Tesla this morning, yeah, it's moving. Possible. I see what Mike is looking at. He loves these high of day breakouts here, so that could be nice. Tesla could be a good one as well. We'll add some stuff here as possible. So it is early, only 9:03, so we do got a little bit of time, guys. If you have something great you want to throw out, we can definitely look at it. Neo, we have what else? Piton. Let's take a look at Piton. Piton had a crazy move, right? Was it earnings? I did see that. It was a crazy drop. Was it on this day here? I forgot what date it was. It dropped to like some crazy number. It jumped back up. So it must have been here. I don't see anything great happening right now on it. Jared, he's coming in with his list. He's looking at other mods watch list, which is, again, I think we're on the same boat there. Some Bitcoin stuff, and he's looking at Riot and Mara for the 40K at this time on Bitcoin. So we'll see if Bitcoin is actually testing that now. So let's look at Riot, see what's going on there. Yeah, starting to get some movement here. I see that on Riot. I like Mara when it comes to the Bitcoin stuff. So you're starting to get some movement here as well. Man, look at these. Let's get rid of all these levels here. There we go. So that's Mara there for you. We'll put one of these on our watch list just in case things get going. All right, that is what we have, guys. Again, just want to take the time to thank everyone for all the emails they sent while my wife and I were in the hospital. Really appreciate it. It was a whole different experience, guys, now with COVID. I mean, it was just from having, my other two older kids to the experiencing now. And again, I heard it was worse for your parents that had that were going through this earlier on when COVID was really at its top. So I feel for you guys, because I even heard stories where the husbands were not even let into the hospital. So I can only imagine what that can be like. So we had some difficulties aside of that. I mean, she had to go in first. I had to wait outside in the car for them to call me. It was just completely different world out there. So again, the experience was great. No one could visit. So, our family's big and we're very tight, and everybody, when something like this happens, the whole family shows up in the waiting room, and we're basically hankered down there into the baby's born. That was not possible. But with your emails, the FaceTime, I read all the emails, all the email messages to my wife. We had some good times. Some of them were really funny, and she did not like the fact that I made her laugh because it was painful. But yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate it very much. I always say that this community is more than just trading. For a lot of us, we built some amazing relationships here at BBT. So again, thank you so much for that. Cannot stress that enough. All right, with that said, guys, let's see here. Peter's coming in with no IPOs for today, no SPACs. This week could be quiet, so nothing there happening as far as new stuff coming out. All right, guys, this is what we have. Quick recap: 9:05. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so. Brian and Andrew will be trading live today for us. Here is Lulu. Again, Lulu, I think, is looking good this morning. And the few time we trade Lulu is when it has this type of activity. Huge gap up today, sitting at all-time highs. There's a lot going on for it now. So I definitely like the way Lulu looks this morning. Here is Baba. Baba is very active as well. AMC also very active. Not a great pre-market action, but we know that can change in the flip of a dime there. Here's NEO. NEO is looking good. I like the activity on NEO. 1.2 million. That's the number we like to see on NEO pre-market, getting above that $1 million mark. And here is Apple as well. Apple's just a good one to watch overall when the market decides to do something nice for the tech sector. This is the one that you want to keep an eye on. Secondary, we do have AMD. HGen, again, they have a very, very bad catalyst this morning, and that might drive it down some more, but it's already down 60%. And what happens is, again, not all the time, but what happens with these type of stocks, you get this initial drop, right? Nobody wants to take it long because the news is so bad, but it's sold off so much, nobody wants to short it. So all it does, it goes sideways and you get no action. So be on the lookout for that. If you see that nothing is happening, just volume just being thrown around, just leave it alone and find something else. Don't waste your bandwidth on something that's not going to move quickly in the direction that you're looking to get going here. Billy is down nicely, 6.8. I prefer Baba this morning. Again, it's just Billy. I just don't see great action right now, but that could change. Tesla we have on here. Tesla is going red to green as well, getting to that. It's all-time high on Tesla, right? No. We have higher. Oh no, at 900 yet. No. So we have some higher peaks in here, but we are getting close to. We haven't been up here in a very long time. April, guys. But a nice little drop here. We've made our way back up towards the 760-ish area. 780 looks to be the most recent top here in April. So we'll see if that does anything for it. And then Mara and Bitcoin are active. I do have Mara on my list here for a possible Bitcoin play as a possible right now in case things get going. Towards the bottom, we do have BBIG. I don't know. SBRT, also another one that can be very active. This is insane, guys. Look at this pop here, going from $20 close over to 60-ish look like, and then this huge drop. So it's got the potential to get going for sure. Right now, volume is 2.3. Not an amazing trading activity in the pre-market, but when you have this volume, you got people's attention, right? So that can move sharply in one way or the other at the market open. So. All right, here's Peter's list. He's looking at AMD, Apple, NEO, secondary list, AMC, and Baba. So that is looking good. Again, very similar to what a lot of us have this morning. That's just looking the best. AMD, Apple, NEO, AMC, and Baba today. What's the danger in BBIG? You know what? I have not watched this trade. I have not watched how it moves, but it looks to be very choppy. But again, I haven't watched the actual trading on this, but if I look at this, I definitely do not like this. That's not good. And this is not good here, right? So when you see something like that, and this is a 5-minute, right? You gotta look at the 1 minute to see how sharp this thing really is. That just tells me there's a lot of games being played here. This thing can drop on you any minute. And it is a 51 million shares flow. It's not a low flow stock. For it to do that at that price range, there's some big players in this pushing this thing around. So I don't know, that's very careful. I look at a stock like this and I would guess this thing would have been like a 17 million shares flow, like a 5 million shares flow. But no, this is 51. If that's correct, man, that is insane. So again, I don't like to see stocks that can do that, because if it can do that here, it can do this here. When you think you're doing an ABCD pattern, you got a nice little entry, you can do that right on there and catch you with something like that. That's not fun. I mean, you can always manage your risk, by taking smaller size. You can have your hard stops, which if it's not one order, hopefully you get filled nicely. But you just got to be careful. I just don't like the way this is trading. I'm not seeing nothing great as far as yesterday's action. So you got volume on here. I just think we have a better opportunity with these other stocks that we have here. That's just my thought. Again, you got to do what works for you guys. That's the best thing about trading. I could call this crap, and to you, this could be gold. And that's perfectly okay. As long as you have your trade book, you're following your plan, you have amazing risk management, money management, you'll be all right. So, do what works for you over and over again. But I look at this and for me, the way I trade, this is not something I probably want to be involved in. EFTR, I think we looked at that already. Ross D. Starting to get going here. Okay, we got a little action. What's the float on this? EFTR. What's the float? 23. So this actually, I like this better than big. I'm gonna get rid of big. That's a low flow. And I do like EFTR. That's starting to get going here. 600,000. Sorry. So now we got some volume. getting into the green here. Yeah, this is nice. This is real nice right now. For a low flow, this is what you want to see. This action here hopefully can continue. But that's what you want to see. That volume coming in here, breaking out of some levels. That's pretty decent there. All right, guys, that is what we have. Norm, anything that I might have missed?
No, brother. Nope. I'm just working on PCT stuff over here, dude.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I know this is a very, very busy time for you. So, and I'm sure a lot of people appreciate all the work you're doing in the back end to get this thing up and running nicely here. So, thank you, Master Chief, our friend Ugo there. Yes, I missed you guys too. I do miss the pre-market show, being here with Norm and getting things going. It has become a part of our routine, 100%. So it's definitely fun to be back. So thank you for that once again. All right, excellent, guys. I think we're all set. We're just gonna stick around just a little bit over on YouTube. Do not leave yet. We do have Andrew and Brian coming on trading live for us this morning. So make sure you hit that thumbs up and show your support. Thank you for Nathan and John for the super chats this morning. Appreciate you very much. Remember, every super chat donation is going to a charity of the month. What is the one for this month, Norm?
Cure childhood cancer. It's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month.
Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. What a great cause to give to. So thank you for that, guys. Everything you donate via the super chat. I believe there's a link also for our members as well. Will be match Andrew dollar for dollar. So thank you for that very, very much. Somebody's asking for pictures of the princess. I have one here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it through the camera, but there's one. Let me see if I could get that a little bigger. There we go. There's one there. And I have this up on Twitter if you want to see a clear picture. But that's her. She's 2 weeks old. And as I mentioned before, it just seems like time is flying. So there you go. All right, excellent. mRNA looking good. mRNA looking good. Yeah, I think we daily looks good. Possible breakout. I think we need a little bit more volume, but yeah, it does have some potential here to get going. Givo pushing some volume around here, 2 million. Nice pop here, 550 over to 635 so far. But the flow, though, is a little funky right now. It's kind of paused a little bit there, so we'll have to see. Again, not the best stock to trade. We've seen this before. It could be difficult at times, so just be careful with this one. Again, I like our list today for what is up here, what is in showing up on our scanners right now. I think our list looks very good, and I believe the moderators agree with me because, man, every moderator has almost the same exact list here. We'll see what Brian comes up with. We'll see what Andrew has on his list, if it diverts a little bit from what we have. And I do see our friend here, Brian, on. Brian, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Carlos. Welcome back. Good to hear your voice.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Yeah, it's awesome. So again, thanks to Thor, who did the lion's share of the lifting here, covering for you. Did a really good job. So again, good to hear your voice. Welcome back. Glad to hear everything went well.
Thank you very much, Brian. Appreciate it very much.
Congrats.
Thank you. So with that said, guys, Norm and I are going to hop off. We're going to leave you with Brian. Andrew should be joining him shortly, and we'll get this day going. Again, if you have not done so already over on YouTube, appreciate it very much if you slam that thumbs up button. It goes a long, long way. First time here, consider subscribing. We are live every Monday through Friday. Tomorrow, not at 8 a.m., but at 8:30 a.m. So take care, guys, and we'll see you later.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm not liking a lot of stuff here this morning, and everything's pretty flat right now. So was on last night with Mike and Peter into the close. I did take some spirit home, as they say, and I sold some in the aftermarket because it just looked so strong. And I just sold the rest this morning at around $24. So made a really nice one on that. Yeah, so that was sort of like a day, because it started really lighting up at the end of the day yesterday. So I took it long, kind of chased it, but it had a lot of momentum, like the time and sales on it. And I think I got in at 21 and a half, somewhere around there. Got out of a lot of it around 20 when it went through 22. And then I just, because it just kept being strong, I just said I was going to hold the rest. And also mentioned that the Chinese stocks were looking weak and they'd be a good short overnight. So I actually did hold some Billy overnight short. So I'm real happy with that. Down five, over $5. I covered that at 80. So I'm looking good this morning here already. So what is it? Is Bitcoin bouncing back? I take it that's we got Mara, Riot, CAN all trading up. I did not have much luck trading these. Anyone else take Spirit? Hold on to some Spirit through the evening. I had my other order in at $80 or $28, I should say, and I never got a fill for the open. I kind of hoped it would really rip higher. Nice. No, I love the time and sales the way it went out yesterday. It just continued into the aftermarket. Although again, I was hoping for a $10 or a $15 move based on that last move, but unfortunately, I'll take the $3.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Let's turn this
I
off
see
here.
that your friends' Chinese stocks are down again. JD and
Yeah.
Baba.
Yeah, I had some Billy short overnight.
Very nice. EFTR. What's that one up to?
Not much. Kind of spiked up on some volume around 9, but it hasn't done much since. So it's kind of a dud right now.
Dog's breakfast, so to speak.
No, more of a dud at this point. It's not really doing anything.
What a run I had yesterday. Damn. This afternoon runs are getting more and more interesting.
Yeah.
Lululemon, that's my favorite brand.
Yeah.
Lulu, what's up with Lulu?
They reported last night.
I knew it. I knew the reporting is going to be good because Vancouver is full of beautiful people with Lululemon pants and Lululemon dress. So it must have been a really good earning. I knew it.
No, I'm kind of thinking about a long for JD. I mean, I think I'm almost looking for a bit of a bounce on these these Chinese stocks. Although Billy's still looking really weak. It's trading below the VWAP, but JD's trading above it. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Like I said, I'm not really liking the pre-market action on much of this stuff. mRNA kind of looks interesting. I'm hoping it doesn't pop up too much because I'm short some 440 calls or a call.
Question about people with Lululemon. Well, it depends what kind of questions you're asking. Would you marry me? No? Oh, all right. Just checking. It really depends on the question. Huh? Would you date me? No? All right. Thanks. CERT. ATER. Which one was the big runner yesterday? ATER was eventually the big runner.
So I'm not doing much.
Yeah, I did too. Right. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of anything. GME is down 10%. I've never really traded GME.
Yeah, GME had earnings again last night as well. Apple is looking like it's really strong. It's going to be strong. I'd watch Apple for a pullback at the open to get a long entry. Of all the stocks I'm watching, that kind of looks the most interesting right now.
Apple is really strong. Yeah. Doesn't want to do a pullback. My watch list. By the way, guys, everyone should be able to see my screen. Everyone should be able to see my screen. My watch list, I would say, it's really tough. Chinese sector, like JD and Baba. We'll see about it. AMC is the usual suspect. I want to look into that. Tesla needs another split.
No, just look at the daily on Apple. I mean, it just wants to keep going higher. And just look at the pre-market action. It's just, it's been strong right from sort of around 8 o'clock. They just keep coming in and buying it. It keeps making higher lows. Every pullback gets bought. It's still right. It's just riding the 9 moving average up right now. Ooh, that's on a 5-minute chart. Let me change that to a 2-minute chart.
Neo, Baba, Apple. Neo. Everyone is putting Neo on their watch. Let's take a look at it.
No, I think Carlos already mentioned this. This HGen is it's sold off so much. I don't see a lot more downside, and it just seems to be flatlining now. It's HGen.
And it's under $10. That's another meh.
It's just flatlining. You know, if anything, I would watch it for a long. I don't know what they did there. I think there was a secondary offering on this.
That was a very big offering.
It must have been. I don't know what they did it at. What did they price it at?
60% down for offering. That's
okay. They lost an FDA approval. Well, that's never good. What's Eamon? Eamon's watching Apple, AMD, Disca. Do you think your watch list is long enough, Eamon? Oh, I see. Thanks, Peter.
You didn't know that Eamon is not actually a human yet, huh?
Well, that's why we call him. That's why we call him AI man.
AI man. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of anything in this watch list today. AMC is my usual suspect. Voco, Neo is a meh. From all of these ATER, that was pretty active yesterday. Not amazing today. SBRT. SBRT is the potential. I put SBRT in there, but other than that, I'm not really keen on anything.
Spirit's really it hit 25.
What's the ticker on the Spirit?
SPRT. God, it did get to 25.20 this morning.
Oh, that's support.com, isn't it? It's not a Spirit. It's support.com.
Yeah, it's support.com. Sorry, I keep calling it Spirit because it looks like a Spirit to me.
Yeah. Brian confuses everyone with that. Spirit is an airline.
Yeah. Spirit is an airline. Speaking, let's see, what is BA doing? BA is just flat. Netflix flat. Netflix up a bit. Tesla's up a little bit. Nothing's moving very much. Natural gas must be up again. I really missed that from a swing perspective, that natural gas move. Beyond is up a fair amount. But I never really liked the way Beyond trades. I had a feeling we're going to the markets might sell off at the open. Well, you can play UNG, which is just straight natural gas, or you can, if you can trade Canadian stocks, HNU, which is Horizon Beta. It's a 2-time ETF. And I think there's UGAS and DGAS is still, oh no, they're not. They used to be able to have UGAS and DGAS, which were 3-time ETFs. Apple is still strong. But UNG is is a symbol you can use, but there isn't a lot of beta on that. So just in a week and a half, we've gone from about 14 to 17. Yeah, I agree. It's I think what's going to happen with Apple is it's probably going to do a bit of a pullback at the open. Oh, that's not a bad idea. If we're getting a bit of a bounce on the cryptos, HUT or HUT 8 is a good way to play good way to play that. You can either trade it on Canada or the US.
CLEU is also running up. That's interesting.
Nice. You held that in Canada overnight. Great. That probably was good. It's up a little bit. mRNA is probably getting a pop because of the whole because that failed thing with HGen. All right. Well, I'm just going to watch Apple. I'm looking at CERT too. It seems to be kind of breaking out here.
AMD. All right, so the market is open, guys. Let's see what's going to happen. Like the volume on AMC. GME.
Just got long some Apple. Really didn't give much of a pullback.
Brian is buying the dip.
Well, there was no dip. It just went. It might dip now. It's just been so strong in the pre-market. You could just tell it was just chomping at the bit, getting ready to go here.
So CLEUs are losing the AMC, holding the revap, potential opening range breakup on AMC, but let's see. I don't like the Vicky price action. SBRT is strong, going to the VWAP. Potential long on SBRT. Taking a small long on SBRT, 23.75. It's not my trade book thing. AMC is strong. Yeah, I'm taking a long on AMC too at 46.55. Taking a small size just because I'm not really a big fan of either one. AMC, small size, guys. It's just, see, the kind of rejection I hate it on AMC. Yeah, I'm getting out of AMC. It's just not that strong.
Took a little bit of Apple off. Yeah, that on that move up. Moderna's breaking out.
See what SBRT doing. See, can go
seeing if we can.
Oh, there we go. SBRT C popped up. See if you can hold the VWAP.
Here we go. Here we go through 156 on Apple.
Nice.
Sold some more there. Seems to be stalling out here.
AMC. What's up, AMC? Yeah, no 1 minute opening range breakout. They were just horrible. So SBRT is rejected 24. Getting out of SBRT because it just doesn't have the nice price action. AMC, I might do another stab on it. EFTR, after all, the EFTR got halted.
I kind of took that one down. I wasn't even watching it.
Apple sold off.
Yeah, Apple's sold off. Still holding on to some.
Yeah, my watch just turned out to be all garbage. All garbage. For now. Let's see what AMC is doing. AMC on the daily chart is horrible. The moving average on it. Yeah, AMC looks like it wants to pop. I don't know if AMC can go through up that R1. Long a little bit on it. See if you can actually get a little bit more.
Okay, really, Apple. Now's your time.
On Apple, huh?
Just 156 is just. Let's see what it does here. If it starts to drop again, I'm going to probably get out of the rest of it.
SBRT turned out to be garbage. What about Lulu or Nike? What's the doing? Lulu sold off. I remember Lulu was trading like garbage. Apple popped up. Really nice.
Here we go. I'll sell some more here.
Clove is popping. Hamza is saying Clove. Oh yeah, Clove is really popping. What's up with Clove? Yeah, this AMC.
It's just another meme stock. Here we go with Apple.
Clove is probably going to go through 10. See if Clove can give us a good entry. SKLZ.
Yeah, IWM. Both of the markets kind of just dropped and now they're popping. Look at the SPY's gone green on the day. Qs are very green. Tesla's coming back up.
Yeah, Clove potentially want to go for a 10. At it. I have losses.
OJD's going. I'm out of the rest of Apple. I really don't like. It's back down at the VWAP again. It's really struggling here. All right, so just one stock trade today so far.
Which one is getting halted? EFTR, huh? Yeah, someone mentioned
EFTR,
that.
yeah. I should have been
What's the
playing
float on FTR? 23 million share float. Why
Moderna.
it's getting...
Just long. I got long some JD. JD looks like it wants to go higher here.
That was nice too.
It's a kind of a chasing it trade, but it's gonna. I better sell some here.
My chart is a little bit weird on JD. I don't know why.
It's right at S4 right now. Seems like it seems like the Chinese stocks are bouncing a bit.
Nice, MF Jones. This is the garbage. I had a bad trade on SBRT, so that loss on SBRT wasn't cool. Moderna is a strong club. Up. Taking a long on club at 972 at the VWAP. Stop loss would be below 1965. See if you can get a bounce from ATR popping up. This club. As soon as I got in there. I'm getting out of it. It's just garbage. AMC seems weak. Yeah, taking a short on AMC now. Taking a short on AMC. See if AMC can break the low of the day, 46.10. Really couldn't break the highs. See if you can at least break 46. SBRT doing some stuff. Club unsuccessful bounce from the VWAP. Adding a little bit short on AMC here on this micro pullback. Let's see. See if you can get to 46.
Apple was a dog's breakfast.
Okay, so AMC lost it. Let's see if you can get to 45.80. Short the average and short is 46.14.
So I'm looking for 80 on JD.
Okay, so now I'm covering. That was a YOLO trade on AMC. Covering on. I made my losses back. It was not a cool day for me until just now. Did anyone got AMC?
Look at Apple sell off. That's surprising.
Nice. I know I took a big size on AMC and I just recovered everything. Handcuffs. Oh, damn it. There. Let's see how far AMC can go.
Still waiting for JD to do something here.
AMD selling off. IWM, please don't sell off.
Popped up.
I know.
Apple's
Sold
right
off
at
at the open.
Apple's
Yeah, I
right
have
at
some.
yesterday's high.
I bought
Yesterday's
some
day
IWM
close.
yesterday, TNA, so we'll see.
It's, everything's gone green. All the indexes have gone green. Oh, EFTR for those playing it is open.
I don't touch it. I'm surprised that it's getting halted like that because the float is 3 million shares.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not touching it.
Probably going to go through 34 here. Yeah, it's really, and the spread is really can be really bad too.
AMC is going there. I'm adding some short AMC here at 45.80. I want to see if he can do another break. My average is now at 46. It's most micro pullback on 1 minute chart. I hope that it don't stay very strong. My average is at 46. I'm getting out at 46. Break even. SBRT is garbage. Cloth is garbage.
We did pop over 80 for a second there on JD, so I didn't get a fill.
No AMC,
Apple's
you
gone,
can't.
wow.
Yes, come down. Don't go
Apple's
up.
gone red. Wow, Apple's gone red in the day. Wow, interesting. HGen has actually been coming up a bit here. You're probably shorting it pretty heavily in the pre-market.
So this struggle on AMC is real. Yeah, it seems that it really wants to bounce. Nice short, Ahmad. Very nice short. That's exactly what I was hoping to get.
Nice short on Apple, guys.
Yeah,
I should have
this
flipped my
bounce on
position.
AMC was stronger than I was expecting. So I'm covering all on AMC, guys.
Yeah, I just had it in my mind. Apple was just so strong; it was just going to keep going.
I'm glad that you got out of it.
Yeah, like I made it was a good, it was a decent trade. But yeah, I'm glad I stopped out too.
I think AMC is probably going to go a little bit down, but this piece of garbage is just stopping. It's right to stop me out, and it's going to go. It's going to go down, I think, but it's just I got out of it because my average was at 46.
Yeah,
Turned out to be garbage.
yeah. JD gave it. I knew that. I kind of figured the Chinese stocks were going to bounce a bit. I really got into JD way too late.
Fuck off, AMC. Look at this. Just stop me out right at 46, and now it's going to go back for the low of the day. I'm done with my day. No more trade. No more trade for me. Done. This piece of garbage AMC, but I got a good run on it, on that short. But see,
I find it really AMC really hard to trade. So if Apple's going to continue lower here, I'd watch it for adding back. Maybe Thor's going to be adding to his short position here.
For long or for short, Apple?
For short, he's short
For
right
short,
now.
yeah. Very nice Thor.
Yeah, I took a short.
This-
I took a short right at that bounce back to the previous day close.
Very nice.
Jared's magic
King of levels.
king of levels.
AMC is going to go down to, I think AMC is going to go to 44, 44. I'm down with my day.
Just waiting for it to drop some more here on Apple. Might not. As I said, Apple is just so strong. On a daily basis anyway.
AMD is selling off. Apple, really nice short on Apple. I don't know how Thor is catching these shorts. It's really nice. Just right at the
I
rebound.
think yeah, it definitely rolled over. I just covered some at 154.85 because I'm not sure if it's going to drop some more. It might just pop back here. So I'm out of the rest, break even.
Piece of
Looks like
garbage,
it's going to
AMC.
go now. Like it might even try to go higher.
AMC did break all the way to SG. AMC. Nothing for me.
Megan, I need a coffee.
No, not for you. Don't listen to him again.
I'm going to try taking a little bit of a long on Apple. I'm going to trade against Thor.
I was actually thinking that there's a potential for a long on it.
Could be dangerous
Jivo.
Trading against Thor.
Yeah, I know. People mentioned Jivo. It's just Kylie's a lower price stock. I'm not really good at it. It's just the lower price stocks. I have this fear from these lower price stocks. AMC bounced back from S3. That's a really nice squeeze. That's a really nice squeeze on AMC. I'm taking a long on AMC at VWAP. Let's see if we can squeeze above the VWAP. The volume just kind of picked up. It might be a short squeeze. If you can go back up near the high of the day. $46.24. The way that the volume came in. See?
Okay, I've got a stop set on Apple. Give it 15 cents. This last couple of pullbacks were 154.90 is where it bounced from. So
I'm selling some on AMC. I told you that might be a short squeeze on AMC. Anyone who was short below the VWAP is not squeezed. I'm long at 46.26. Let's see if you
that
can
was a
get
nice
to
trade.
break of 5 today.
Look at how it did that false breakdown too, right? Geez, AMC, that bounce was right off the S3 level, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see if you can go for the high of the day. I'm long is still. Come on. Squeeze them.
It's right back up at high of the day,
of the
so
day,
it
and there's
might.
there's R1 too. So
Yeah, there's all these. I think Apple might try to break through this yesterday close. Spies popping up and breaking out.
AMC, if we can go for the high of the
Just
day, I have
can't keep
6,000
this market
shares.
down.
I have 6,000 shares. That would be a really good, a couple of $1,000 trade.
Come on, Apple, you want to go up?
Well, I'm holding 5,000 shares of AMC now. See if you can get to 47. My average is at 46.26. Don't drop.
Nice trade on AMC. I mean, you played it both ways. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Look
Well,
at that. That was
we didn't get that follow through. That follow through. We haven't got the follow through on long yet. And the longer it stays here, the messier it became. So I'm just
nice
giving it
one, Ahmed. That was a nice one. You could see actually there was a double bottom on AMC.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
If it wasn't gapping down 2%, I would have taken it long. But because it was just gapping down, I just.
Here we go. Here goes Apple. Where that Camarillo below.
I'm sharing my screen again. So, sorry, I don't know, Peter, why it's just is doing this screen share. Yeah, you can guys change the screen share again if that's really thinking. Yeah, AMC. I don't think AMC, to be honest with you, is that in play that much. Yeah, didn't really see if you can hold the VWAP. Probably not.
Just hoping, just looking for Apple to get back to the View app, maybe.
Still holding the AMC, although I lost my hope on it, to be honest with you. I don't think AMC is in play. It's just the moves are not really. It looks like if 4 people are trading it. In it, it needs a little bit of more volume and order flow. I'm getting out of it at the break even, guys. Although I know it's gonna pop up now, but yeah.
I'm gonna sell some. Thinking of selling some JD here.
And these popping. Yeah,
Still
these
have
kind of thing.
Still have some. There we go. Just sold some there.
Which one are you trading? Apple?
I'm in Apple and I'm in JD. JD's just holding the 9 moving average right now. I'm down quite a bit on JD, so in terms of holding size.
Yeah, I'm all out at AMC. Wasn't a really a great trade.
There goes the FTR.
No volume. CRDF. Yeah, this under $10 stocks. Look at the time and sales. You have 1 million share volume, but time and sales doesn't move. That means that it just prices are coming in pulses, and that's not good. Stay away from these kind of things. JD, Is meh. Baba is doing some stuff. SBRT, I lost on it. I can't believe I lost $2,000 on SBRT. It's just, are you kidding me? The EFTR.
Yeah, I
FDR
didn't
is
like the
now.
way Spirit traded at the open.
It's not a spread. It's support.com.
Support.com. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to screw you up.
Just Lulu. No. Apple.
What's Lulu
Tesla's
doing? I was thinking
garbage.
about shorting Lulu because it kind of lost the VWAP.
Skills is garbage. Clove. Yeah, Clove,
I,
that pop was. Clove. I lost on Clove. I lost that one too, huh? Pop.
Lulu's a dog's breakfast, I think. It's a garbage stock as well. What is Spirit? Spirit. Oh, there we go. Here goes JD. Still holding some. I think I'm gonna maybe. I might even look at holding this all day. We'll see what it does.
On who?
JD. Look at that. Baidu has actually gone green on the day.
What's IWM doing?
JD is still red, but I'm maybe thinking these Chinese stocks are all going to go green.
Yeah, they're recovering nicely.
Love.
Yeah, I'm done for my day, guys. I had a pretty awesome day. So I am up 7,000. Had a loss on SPRT and Clove. I made the loss back on AMC long, and AMC short was my best trade. I'm here. So just holding this for fun, no trade. On the other account, last night I got some TNA, holding TNA. It's just going pretty well. So holding this TNA as well. So. And do you guys have problems seeing my screen? No, good, because it is freezing a little bit apparently. Yeah, American Airlines is creeping higher.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, nice. That was a good trade, Nemo.
Ah, there we go. Here goes Apple. I'm going to sell some Apple here.
TNA is running up.
Back at the VWAP. Anyone take that trade with me? That worked out pretty well.
Apple. I was thinking of taking Apple long, to be honest with you, but I was just in that piece of garbage AMC that I was kind of thinking that it might bounce from here, but I just didn't have any trade book either. It was
Nice.
like a gut feeling trade. But yeah, the short that third it was amazing. Just rolling over.
That was really good.
A really, really good one. So it must be the California to Florida weather.
Florida.
Must be the Alte weather over there. Yes, IWM is running up. That's good. That up for I am holding.
Jivo's been Jivo's been fun for some people, I guess. It's breaking out on a daily too. Nice, Chris. I've got some FOMO on Jivo. resist trading it.
Yeah, the under $10 stocks, as we discussed on Peak Capital, guys, it's just you got to find what you're good at. I know I'm really bad at under $10 stocks, so I stay away from them, even though, I'm not saying that they're not tradable. It's just they might be amazingly tradable. It's just I'm not really good at them. The 200
Nice,
million
Jose.
float, see, it's not even low float, but it's just I can't trade them. I can't read the price action on them really well because they have this SBRT. They have a different crowd trading them. Or whatever that they are, algos or whatever that they are. It's just that they're different crowd. IWM. Selling some IWM here. I'm selling some 500 shares here and some 500 shares here. That's good. Good. So I sold some of my IWM, some TNA here on this account I got yesterday. Welcome back, Carlos, by the way. Hopefully you're catching up on the sleep. Your third son. Is it third, huh? Or fourth?
I think so, yeah. SPY's going to break out here. Apple's
Nice.
pushed through the VWAP now.
SBRT is nice. SBRT, I got to stop out at the open on it. It might go for the break of high of the day. Do I dare to do that? I don't want to touch it, but it looks like a potential good long for the break of 24. The volume is picking up on it. I'm down on it, $2,000. I don't know. Third daughter of Carlos. Yeah. I knew that. I knew it. I knew I should jump into that. Did anyone jump in? That pullback was nice. That pullback was so
Spirit's
nice.
crazy.
Did anyone jump in? That pullback at 23.60, I knew it. I knew it's going to go 25.
Support.com.
Megan, can I get some coffee, please? Thank you.
See, that's why I want somebody in order coffee. Look at support. Look at support. It's going to squeeze now.
I knew it. I'm an idiot.
It put in it put in a nice double bottom on a 2-minute chart. It's going through 26 now.
FOMO is real.
It's right at R3. You rejected at R3.
Did you take it, Joe? Good. Yeah, no, I even though I was down on it, I was going to take it, but handcuffs. Yeah, this pullback, when it popped up, the volume picked up, the time and sells start just moving, because that's what you want in the short squeeze. You want the volume just continues coming, and this pullback at 23.60 was a good, maybe add a couple of thousand shares on it and just popped up. But yeah, I couldn't. Thank you. I was hoping to get something like that on AMC on my last trade, but the volume just didn't come, and kind of messed up. I want to sell some TNA at 90, and nobody can say anything to me because I own it. I want to put it in there. That's mine. I'm going to put... why did I get filled?
HGen's still going. Yeah,
I put some TNA
really,
at 90.
HGen's really squeezing.
HGen. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Spirit was crazy. Well, this is such a low float stock too, right? It's an incredibly low float stock, and and I think it's pretty heavily shorted. That's why I think it's like a Wall Street bets thing. Uh, 10 million, 10 million shares in the float, and supposedly 56% of the float is shorted. Can do a knife catch here.
I have some TNA to sell at 90. That's my pre-market trade. What was the one that it was running? Was it
Chivo.
no, support.
Oh, support.
Bounce back at 26. Yeah. Nice. Who's that? Dumb. Very nice trading. Tesla breaking out. Dr. Michael Berry, is he going to be squeezed? I don't know what's his short position. Dr. Michael Berry. Club also squeezed. Bastards. Bunch of bastards. All right, so YouTube guys, how are you doing, guys? Are you doing all right? I think we can appreciate you watching us.
Just
Carlos, we can feel free to cut it off. Thank you so much. We can go back into the chat room. I had a pretty good day. I still have some TNA position here, just going in there. And I got filled some at 90. Hopefully, we can get more on TNA. Merci. Brian also wants some coffee.
Yeah.
yes, please.
Espresso.
Virtual, yeah.
There's a virtual NFT espresso.
Virtual, yeah. Can I get an NFT on that?
All right, so thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, on YouTube. We appreciate the like or subscribe to our channel. Carlos, feel free to cut it off, and then Brian and I go back to the room. Thanks. Brian, you need to unmute.
Yep.